You ever look at a design and feel like you could almost reach out and poke it back? That right there, that's the magic of form, turning something flat into something that feels like it's alive. Hi friends, I'm Candice. I'm a designer, a caffeine-powered thinker, and someone who has spent an embarrassing number of hours obsessing over why something feels real, and others just kind of sit there like a flat pancake. So today we're talking about form, the illusion of depth and weight, and presence that gives design its soul. So form is basically what happens when a shape gets a glow up. Shape is flat. It is the outline, the silhouette, the what, and form is the how light wraps around it, how it sits in a space, how it sits in relation to everything else around it. It is a circle versus a sphere, a square versus a cube, or in design terms, a logo sketch on a napkin versus a brand you could feel through its packaging. Form is where design stops being decoration and becomes part of elaborate storytelling. Form is what makes your work believable. It creates hierarchy, mood, and even emotion. When something has form, we instinctively know where to look first. Our eye is wired to follow the light and shadow. It is the same instinct that makes us stare at a candle flame, or the way that sunlight hits your coffee cup in the morning. Good use of form says this is what matters. It's not just simply about making things look pretty. It's about making something that feels right. All right, let's get practical. Here is how you could create an actual illusion of form in design. No 3D software required. Number 1, value and shading. Light and dark are your best friends. A solid understanding of value is half the battle. It is what gives your design structure. If your design still reads well in grayscale, congratulations. You nailed form. Number 2, highlights and specular reflection. Highlights are your sparkle moment, that little shine on glass or metal or eyes in a portrait. It is the visual equivalent to charisma. But don't overdo it, because subtlety is sexy. Number 3, gradients through color temperature. Gradients get a bad rep from early 2000s word art trauma, but they can be actually quite powerful when used correctly. A shift from warm to cool tones instantly creates depth. Think sunset lighting versus fluorescent office light lighting. Both are real, both are emotional, but one is clearly better than the other. Number 4, cast shadows and ambient occlusion. Cast shadows ground things. They say things like, hey, this object exists in a space. Ambient occlusion, where two surfaces meet, it gives realism. You could fake it with things like a blur or a soft brush. The eye believes it. Number 5, overlap and perspective. Nothing says depth like one thing slightly covering another. Overlap, it's hierarchy in disguise. And, if you're brave, play with one-point perspective. It's geometry meets drama. And number 6, texture material. Texture is how you tell the viewer what something would physically feel like. Smooth, rough, matte, glossy. It is the difference between silk and sandpaper. Both are valid moods. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to take a circle and make it deliciously round. Step 1, we start with our basic shape. Step 2, we pick our light source. The top left is always a very safe bet. Now all you have to do is add your midtones and adjust the shadows. Make sure that you have just a tiny bit of highlight. We don't want to go full disco ball. We want this to still look believable. And finally, cast a shadow under it to make it feel more grounded. And boom, this circle just got promoted to a sphere. We gave it life, and all it took was value, light, and intention. Here's the thing. Form is about relationship. How things relate to light, space, and emotion. Every design element, text, shape, image, they all live in relation to something else. And when you understand that, your work, it gets depth, and it's not just visually, but even more importantly, conceptually. A good designer doesn't just add shadows. They understand why the lighting is there in the first place. Here's a mini exercise that I have for you. Pick one shape, circle, triangle, square. Spend a minute making it feel real and 3D. Play around with the value, the highlights, the shadows. Don't aim for perfection, aim for believability. And then you could step back and ask yourself, where does the light come from? What does this project say about space? And that right there is how you could start developing your designer intuition. Okay, now here's a rapid fire round of mistakes and quick fixes. If your design looks muddy, check the values. If your design looks fake, it might be the highlights. You could adjust them to be more subtle. And if it feels flat, then your light direction might be inconsistent. It's absolutely okay though. All of us have committed shadow crimes. The key is to practice making it intentional. So there you have it, that's form. It gives your shapes a sense of life. It's not just about shadows and gradients. It is about understanding light, depth, and connection. Start small, stay curious, and remember, every great designer starts with a question. How does this feel in space? Okay, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe because I make videos just like this every single week. And that's all I have for you right now. See you next time. Bye.